All right, in part one, we'll talk about section 5.4, and part two, we'll talk about section 5.6. All right, so, or if there's enough time, we'll do both together. We'll see how it goes. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about medians and altitudes. Here's what you need to know. A median of a triangle is a segment that is drawn from the vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. That's what a median is. And then the centroid is where the three medians intersect, come together. A little tidbit of information. Where the centroid is, remember this is a centroid right here. I'm going to highlight it right there in a green dot. The length of this long segment is 2/3 the length of the entire median. That's all you need to know. That's what this basically says. But here's something else you need to be aware of. Okay, now we know that it says here that this median has a length of 15. And I'm going to look for the length of FQ and the length of CQ. First, let's look for FQ. Now, FQ is, I'm going to tell you this right now, is 1/3 the length of the entire median. So 1/3 of 15. Well, what's 1/3 of 15? It's 5. Now, we know that the whole thing here is 15. Well, this portion's 5. So this right here is what's left over. So it's going to be 15 minus 5, which is 10. These just take some practice. So basically, the whole thing is, the whole thing's 15, this part's 5, and that part is what's left over, which is 10. All right, now, we do another one, the same thing. This time FC is 21. So FQ is 1/3 of 21, which as you know is 7. Well, QC, this part right there, is 21 minus 7, which is 14. So that whole thing is 14. And as you know, 7 plus 14 is 21, which is what we're looking for. All right. That's when you're given the entire median. Now, one thing I need you to note, the smaller portion, 7, is half the bigger portion, 14. Same as in the problem we just did before. 5 here is half of 10. So this smaller portion is always going to be half the bigger portion. That may sound confusing, but just some things you need to consider. Okay, now this time we're given that BQ is the bigger portion. And I'm highlighting that in blue. And it is, 14. I wrote the wrong number down. It is 14. All right. So now we said earlier that the bigger portion is twice the smaller portion. So half of 14 is QE. So QE is 1/2 of 14, which is 7. And then for BE, this right here, we just add those two together, which is 14 plus 7, which is 21. 14 plus 7 is 21. Just remember, the whole thing, this little part is 1/3 of that, but these two are added together. It's a lot of fractions to remember, but it just takes a little bit of practice, and you'll have that. Now, I will tell you this, you will not have to worry about testing over this. This will not be on the test. There will not be a quiz over this. There will be a homework quiz, but that's all you'll have. All right, now, let's look at the following. QD. QD is 4. QD is the smaller portion. The bigger portion here is twice that, such that this is half that. So half, or 2, QA is 2 times 4, which is 8. And then those two added together are, which is 12. All right. Now, BQ. If you look, BQ is the bigger of the two portions right there. And I'm making that 48. QE is half of that, half of 48. Half of 48 is 24. And then BE is those two added together, 24 plus 48, which is 72. All right. And I'm going to do one more of these. QD, if you look, is a smaller portion. It's 3. The bigger portion, QA, is 2 times 3, which is 6. And then AD is 3 plus 6, which is 9. That there is 9. All right. Now, okay, that's medians. Just something you need to know about them. An altitude. An altitude of a triangle is the perpendicular segment from the vertex to the line containing the opposite side. So basically, the altitude is always perpendicular. It always forms a right angle, and it connects from a vertex. Now, notice it does not have to go through the median or to go through the midpoint like the median does. The median has to go through the midpoint. The altitude has to be perpendicular. Each have their own role. All right, so let's look at the following. I got AD. AD right here connects from the vertex to the opposite side as midpoint. Therefore, it is an median. Okay, bad grammar just now, but oh well. All right, EG. EG. That's actually a midsegment, so it's neither. And then finally, CF. CF connects from a vertex to a perpendicular opposite side. It's an altitude. All right, so it's an altitude. All right, now we got that. Now the orthocenter is where the altitudes of the triangle intersect. All right, so we got an altitude there, and an orthocenter down there. So just a little bit of information you need to know. And also, circumcenter is the perpendicular bisectors. Angle bisectors in center. Medians, centroid. And then finally, the orthocenter for the altitudes. So at least know what they are. You don't have to memorize this, but it does have some of that information there. All right. I'm going to stop 5-4, and we will do 5-6 separately as part 2. So